Hi, my name is Dylan Everett, and today I will be doing a callback for the Cripple of Inishmaan at Palm Beach Dramaworks. I will be doing a monologue from Not Ginny and 2 sides from the Cripple of Inishmaan. Do you think we just sat around waiting for you to come back? No. Life went on. Life sucks, but if you're smart, you learn to adapt. I was by myself for the first time, and nobody made me dinner. I sat on that couch, and I cried because I didn't have anyone to take care of me. And then I got up. I looked myself in the mirror, and I said, "Quit being a baby and make yourself macaroni and cheese." And I did. I made myself Kraft macaroni and cheese, and that was my macaroni and cheese, and nobody had to make it for me. You learn how to take care of yourself, and suddenly everyone who took care of you isn't a god anymore. They're just other adults bouncing around, and they're either in your way or they're out of your way, and you've been out of my way for a while, so don't worry about me.
Who's that shuffling on the stones?
It's Billy Clavin, Babby Bobby.
I should have guessed that. Who else shuffles?
No one, I suppose.
Are your aunties not worried you're out this late, Cripple Billy?
They'd be worried if they knew, but I snuck out on them.
You shouldn't sneak out on your aunties, Cripple Billy, even if they're funny aunties.
Do you think they're funny aunties too, Babby Bobby?
I saw your Auntie Kay talking to a stone one time.
And she shouted at me for staring at cows.
Well, I wouldn't hold staring at cows up as the height of sanity, Billy.
Sure, I only stare at cows to get away from me aunties a while. It isn't for the fun of staring at cows. There is no fun in staring at cows. They just stand there looking at you like fools.
Do you ever throw nothing at them cows? That might liven them up.
I wouldn't want to hurt them, sure.
You're too kind-hearted, is your trouble, Cripple Billy. Cows don't mind you throwing things at them. I threw a brick at a cow once, and he didn't even moo, and I got him bang on the arse.
Sure, that's no evidence. He may have been a quiet cow.
He may have. And sure, I'm not telling you to go pegging bricks at cows. I was drunk when this happened. Just if you get bored, I'm saying.
I usually bring a book with me anyways. I have no desire to injure livestock.
You could throw the book at the cow.
I would rather to read the book, Babby Bobby.
It takes all kinds, as they say.
It does. Are you getting your curric ready there, Babby Bobby?
Oh, everybody's awful observant tonight, it does seem.
Ready to bring Helen and Bartley over to the filming?
How did you hear tell of Helen and Bartley's traveling?
Helen told me.
Helen told you, jeez. And I told Helen she'd get a punch if she let anyone in on the news.
I hear she's paying you in kisses for this boat trip.
She is, and sure, I didn't want paying at all. It was Helen insisted on that clause.
Wouldn't you want to kiss Helen so?
I get a bit scared of Helen, I do. She's awful fierce. Why, would you like to kiss Helen, Cripple Billy?
I can't see Helen wanting to kiss a boy like me. Can you, Bobby?
No.
So you'd have took the McCormicks without payment at all?
I would. I wouldn't mind having a look at this filming business myself. What harm in taking passengers along?
Would you take me as a passenger too, so?
No.
Why no?
I've no room.
No, you've plenty of room.
A crippled fella's bad luck in a boat, and everybody knows.
Since when now?
Since Poteen Larry took a crippled fella in his boat and it sank.
Oh, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard, Babby Bobby.
Or if he wasn't a crippled fella, he had a bad leg on him anyways.
You're just prejudiced against crippled fellas is all you are.
I'm not at all prejudiced against cripples. I did kiss a crippled girl one time. Not only crippled, but disfigured too. I was drunk, I didn't mind. You're not spoiled for pretty girls in Antrim.
Don't go changing the subject on me.
Big green teeth. What subject?
The subject of taking me to the filming with you.
I thought we closed that subject.
We hardly opened that subject.
Sure. What do you want to go to the filming for? They wouldn't want a cripple boy.
You don't know what they'd want.
I don't, I suppose. No, you're right there. I did see a film there one time with a fella who not only had he no arms and no legs, but he was a colored fella too.
A colored fella? I've never seen a colored fella, let alone a crippled colored fella. I didn't know you could get them.
Oh, they'd give you a terrible scare.
Colored fellas? Are they fierce?
They're less fierce with no arms or no legs on them, because they can't do much to you, but even so, they're still fierce.
I heard a colored fella a year ago came to Dublin a week.
Ireland mustn't be such a bad place, so if coloured fellows want to come to Ireland.
It mustn't. Oh, Bobby, you've only brought up coloured fellas to put me off the subject again.
There's no cripple fellas coming in this boat, Billy. Maybe someday, in a year or two like, if your feet straighten out on you.
A year or two's no good to me, Bobby.
Why so? What's this?
It's a letter from Dr. McSherry, and you've got to promise you'll not breathe a word of it to another living soul.
When did you get this?
Just a day ago I got it. Now will you let me come?
Your aunties will be upset at you going.
Well, is it their life or is it my life? I'll send a word to them from over there. Oh, I may only be gone a day or two anyways. I get bored awful easy. Will you let me come?
9 o'clock tomorrow morning, be here.
Thank you, Bobby. I'll be here.
What are you waiting for?
She's gone in the back to look for me fripple frapples.
Oh, you and your feckin' fripple frapples.
Fripple frapples are nice sweeties. I see you've brought the eggs up.
You're awful observant.
I thought bringing the eggs was the Eggman's job.
It was the Eggman's job, but I did kick the Eggman in the shins this after, and he didn't feel up to it.
What did you kick the Eggman in the shins for?
He insinuated it was me murdered Jack Ellery's goose and Pat Brennan's cat for them.
But it was you that murdered Jack Ellery's goose and Pat Brennan's cat for them.
I know it was, but if it gets bandied around town, I'll never be getting paid.
How much are you getting paid?
8 bob for the goose and 10 bob for the cat.
Why did you charge more for the cat?
Well, I had to pay Ray Darcy for the borrow of his axe. See, the goose I only had to stomp on him. It takes more than a stomp to polish off a cat.
A planking of wood you could have used on the cat and saved shelling out for the axe at all.
Sure, I wanted the job carried out professional, Barkley. A plank is the weapon of a flat-faced child. I wouldn't use a plank on a blue-arsed fly.
What would you use on a blue-arsed fly?
I wouldn't use a thing on a blue-arsed fly. There's no money involved in killing blue-arsed flies.
Jim Finnegan's daughter killed 12 worms one day.
I'd be breathing on them.
No, by sticking needles in their eyes.
Now there's the work of an amateur. I didn't even know worms had eyes.
They don't after Jim Finnegan's daughter's through with them.
What's this stone here for?
I caught Mrs. Osborne talking to that stone when first I came in.
What was she saying to the stone?
She was saying, "How are you, stone?" and then holding the stone up to her ear like the stone was talking to her.
That's awful strange behavior.
And asking the stone then if it knew how old Cripple Billy was doing over in America.
And what did the stone say?
The stone didn't say anything, Helen, because stones, they don't say anything.
Oh, I thought you said Mrs. Osborne was doing the voice for the stone.
No, Mrs. Osborne was doing her own voice.
Maybe we should hide the stone and see if Mrs. Osborne has a nervous breakdown.
Sure, that wouldn't be a very Christian thing to do, Helen.
It wouldn't be a very Christian thing to do, no, but it'd be awful funny.
Let's leave Mrs. Osborne's stone alone, Helen. Hasn't she enough on her mind worrying our Cripple Billy?
Crippled Billy's aunties should be told that Billy's dead or dying, and not have them waiting for a letter from him that'll never come. 4 months now, isn't it, they've been waiting, and not a word. And them being the only two on Inishmaan not informed of what Babby Bobby knows.
What good would it do? Sure, informing them. At least this way they've the hope he's still alive. What help would Babby Bobby's news be to them? And you never know, but maybe a miracle's happened and Cripple Billy hasn't died over in Hollywood at all. Maybe 3 months wasn't a fair estimate for Cripple Billy.
I hope Crippled Billy has died in Hollywood after taking his place in Hollywood that was rightfully a pretty girl's place, when he knew full well he was about to kick the bucket.
A pretty girl's place? What use would a pretty girl be in playing a crippled fella?
I could turn me hand to anything, me, given a chance.
I've heard.
You heard what?
I've heard in Hollywood it's chock full of pretty girls, sure. It's crippled fellas they're crying out for.
What are you defending Crippled Billy for? Didn't he promise to send you a package of yellow mallows you'd never seen a lick of?
Well, maybe Cripple Billy died before he had a chance of sending me them yellow manners.
It's any excuse for you, you weed.
But dying's an awful good excuse for not sending a fella the sweeties he promised.
Too kind-hearted you are. I'm ashamed to admit you're related to me sometimes.
It doesn't hurt to be too kind-hearted.
Uh-huh. Does this hurt?
No.
Does this hurt?
No!
Does this hurt?
I'd better say yes before any further you go.
You should have said yes on the arm pinch. Would have been using your brain.
Thank you.